What up, guys? How you doing? It's your homeboy, Cowboy fans. Your homeboy, Cowboy Crunk, is back. Let me get this live stream rolling. Check and see what we got in here. I appreciate all the support during my absence. It's been tough. You know, I wanted to do something. I wanted to be here. I wanted to follow the Cowboys, which I have somewhat, but it's just haven't been able to put the time in. You guys know what I'm saying? So let me get the live stream open. Let me see who's here. Still dealing with stuff. I'm missing some cables. Some of the cables that I'm supposed to have weren't here, so my sound. Let me know if the sound is okay, guys. Not sure if you guys can hear me or not. Everything should be working. What's up, my boy Dan Blatt? Big Blatt Splat is in the house. How you doing, my boy? Thomas Garrett, what's up, my friend? Hey, first of all, before I get anything started, I got to give a shout out to the guys that, like, I shot my first video yesterday. And what's up, Stevie Vargas? My first video yesterday, and immediately I got messages and stuff. I went to sleep last night, woke up this morning, and wow, man, it was cool to see the regulars back in the house. You know what I'm saying? What's up, DP? Daniel Perez in the house. What's up, Ray Ray? Ray Ray's here too. Oh man, this is cool. But before I get started, I wanted to do some shout outs. I'm going to be slow on my content because I'm behind, so I'm going to need some of you guys to catch me up on some things Dallas Cowboys. So with all the new coaching staff we have now and draft coming up next month, I'm liking our chances of the next few years. Can't wait for football to return. Hey guys, me too, man. You know, the closer the season gets, the more I'm kind of watching this coronavirus stuff. I've really been watching it a lot the last couple days, and it blew me out of the water how bad it's gotten. I had no clue. So hopefully these things will get better. I do got some notes. Some of the notes I kind of took on, you know, the Travis Frederick situation. That's a big concern to me, and I'll explain that to you guys why. Your setup is not. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it, bro. It took me a while to get all this shit together, but man, we're happy here. We're really happy here. I've got good internet, and I actually increased the internet yesterday, so it should be picking up tomorrow. I should have really good internet. So I hope I don't get interrupted. I'll start taking phone calls on the next live stream. I'll get my other computer going or my other phone, one of the two, so I can. Yeah, guys, we're gonna miss Travis Frederick, bro. I mean, I've got the numbers from the year he was gone, and there's a huge drop off, especially in the pass protection. Huge drop off in the pass protection, man. It just really crazy. Hey, what's up, Azteca Aguilar? How you doing, my bro? Shout out to everyone in the chat, Cowboys Nation, and guys, man, it's been so hard being away. I've just been so busy. I'm gonna tell you this, literally. Part of my stress was not getting to do this, not getting to do the live streams, not getting to follow the Cowboys, and I was so damn busy. My blood pressure got up to like 110, like 160 over 110. I mean, that's dangerous, and I had no clue. I've never had problems with blood pressure, and I don't want to sit here and prove it. I was stressed out, bro, and I was busy. Right now, I've got it back down to about 130 over 90 something, so I'm doing all right. But that shit can get dangerous, man. Everybody out there, take care of yourself. I've been gone, man. Sorry, Randall. I've been out for dude. Yeah, it is. Thomas Garrett. I'm sure you're a health fanatic. You know about it. I've never had an issue with my blood pressure or anything like that. So. Just to get started real quick, guys, I want to do some shout outs to everybody that did jump in and shoot me a comment, and I really appreciate it. DP, I saw you're already in here. Daniel Perez, Thomas Garrett, Target, always on point with everything he has to say. Man, you want some knowledge drop, you guys watch Thomas Garrett in the chat when we get rolling with some of the information. He's going to be one of the guys I lean on to get stuff from, man. He very educated Cowboy guys, and to be educated like some of the guys are on here. You have to be a Cowboy fan. You got to follow the Cowboys. I mean, to know stuff about particular players and stuff like that, guys. I really appreciate the help and stuff. Aaron's son in the house. Luca Brazzi, I got some messages from him, which was really cool. That's one of the original guys that was on my channel. His name was Lucas something, and I gave him a nickname of Luca Brazzi. I try to give you guys all, nicknames so I can kind of remember some of you guys that are on here all the time. Texas Twister, Swaggy D, South of Heaven 88. You guys hit his channel up if you guys need to order anything. Real good guy to order your Cowboys material from and all those things. Cowboys fan 1973. Mark Smith, Big Smitty. Jeremy X, the X-Man, always also has some really good knowledge for me. The guy will send me long messages, and Jeremy, I read every one of them, man. I appreciate it. Jonathan Lindsay in the house, Sports Guru, Gino Heck, JC, Manuel Reyes, my boy Man in the house, also a big-time Cowboy fan. All of us here are big Cowboy fans, guys, and I just, some of the names stick out. There's my man right there. What's up, Jonathan Lindsay? How you doing, bro? Karen Dugan. Duguid, I call her OK, OK Do Good. Karen, it's got the OG and the D and the, anyways. Tim in the house, Big T-Bone. Robbie Radford, I call him Mustang. That's kind of my name to kind of remember you guys. Robbie Radford, Radford, or Radford, to me, the only car a Mustang has, or excuse me, Ford has is a Mustang. Golden Heart City 2, already got his nickname. Sheila Neal and Stevie Mac, my boy Mac and Cheese, Stevie Mac, Crankin' Stevie. Anyways, guys, man, I appreciate the support while I was gone, and I'm sorry I've been out for a while, but we've got so many questions to answer right now. So many questions. I mean, really, it's gonna be a season where it's open really to anything happening. We've got a new coach, a new coaching staff. There's my boy Stevie Mac. What's up, Mac and Cheese? Hey, just gave you a shout out. I don't know if you got a notification because you heard your name on here. But anyways, I'm gonna lean on some of you guys for knowledge. If I say something that's off key or something missing, I've tried to jump in and at least check out who we've lost, who we picked up. Some of the coaching staff. I'm just so far behind on some of this stuff because I literally, I took a break. I probably did Cowboy stuff about an hour a day, and that's not enough. If you got, yeah, there's a tiger. That's one of the Bengals. That's a big ass cat. But anyways, guys, I've been able to do about an hour a day, maybe on average, which isn't enough. You guys know, with everything going on, you cannot keep up with the Dallas Cowboys, looking at the internet for an hour a day. I appreciate it, 757. But anyways, yeah, we've got a huge situation going, coaching staff, players, a huge roster turnover, and you try to pull the good out of this. We did lose some good players. Our secondary is key, I think, this year, and the Travis Frederick situation. I pulled out some stats from Travis Frederick and the situation while he was gone in 2018. This is the amount of sacks Dak had every year. Since he's been in the league, the 4 years he's played, he had 25 sacks in 2016. He had 32 sacks in 17. When Travis Frederick sat out that year with his situation, he had 56 sacks. That was double. That was almost double what he had in the first 2 years. Almost double what he had in the first 2 years. And then in 2019, he had 23 sacks. So if you total that up, 20, 25 and 32 is 57, 70, actually 90 sacks. 90 sacks in 3 years. He had 56, so close to 60 in 1 year. So you guys, Travis Frederick is a key position on this team. Looney was younger on the team then. He had only been with the Cowboys for 2 years. Hopefully knowing the playbook a little better. We do have a new playbook. The situation with the run game was relatively the same while Travis Frederick was gone. Wasn't a lot of change in the run game. Run blocking is a lot easier than pass blocking. Pass blocking, it's a lot of, switching, picking up guys, picking up stunts off the defensive line, picking up linebackers blitzing, safeties blitzing. On a run game, a lot of times, run blocking, most of the time you're launching off, you're hitting the guy in front of him, and you're either pushing him to the left or pushing him right, or sometimes you're pulling or whatever. But it's not near as technical as pass blocking. So that's part of the situation with Looney being in, picking up the pass blocking. When you're the center, you're the quarterback of that offensive line. Being the center, you're in charge of that offensive line. If there's a change that needs to be made before the snap, it's your call to make the change. It's the quarterback's job to point some things out, especially in the secondary. So those are the reasons Travis Frederick has those things nailed. He besides being a better lineman, he just has the scheme of the offensive blocking down a little better than Looney does. So that's part of the reason that we had issues while Travis Frederick was gone. So this is a big situation. I don't see anything we can do about it. If anybody has any ideas, drop them in the comments section. We can go over those. That's where I'm starting on this. If you guys want to change it up a little bit, we can do that. But as for now, if you've got any ideas on what to do with the Travis Frederick situation, I don't see a quick fix unless they decide to go free agency. I don't think there's anybody out there on the free agent market that's better than Looney. Looney is a probably the best, if not one of the best backups. That's the way I see it, Dan. Looney's got to step up. I also like looking at the draft. I'm starting to look at the draft, but guys, you guys know I've said this for years. I don't think you're going to get a top tier offense or defensive lineman unless you're picking in the top 10 and you get like an Ed Oliver. You get the guys that came out last year at that level. You get one of these guys coming off that's a top 10 pick. Yeah, they're plug and play. Anything late in the first round, usually second round, third round, you're looking at benching those guys a year or two. The reason is there's not many guys that come out of college with the strength and the ability. It's a man job. You're a completely different player at 21 years old than you are at 24. You get a lot stronger during that period. You get around an NFL locker room. You've got a defensive lineman against you, and he's 26 years old, and he's been eating on a pro schedule, working out in a pro locker room, working out with professionals, way more advanced than your 21-year-old offensive or defensive lineman. Linemen just progress in their first 3 years. No matter if they're on the right schedule, they're in the right locker room, they're in the correct weight room, doing the right things. A young rookie lineman is not going to be able to hold up unless you get like one of those top tier super elite guys that only comes around every once in a while. Let me hit the Connor McGovern. We're going to have to look at the roster that we have now. That's the way I look at it. I think Joe Looney is our best choice for now, and then maybe Connor McGovern can take over later in the year. But he didn't play hardly at all last year, so he's still really young, guys. Keeps fingers crossed for McGovern. I hope he turns out great too. That's all we can do is hope for the best, and we've got that at a lot of position, guys. We've got that at safety as well with Jeff Heath being gone. As you guys know, that the Cowboys have never stressed getting a safety. There was a big reach out for the Earl Thomas thing, and it just didn't happen. They heard Earl Thomas's price and walked away really quick. There wasn't much interest there. A lot of talk, but really not much interest. So they're not interested in getting a top tier safety. Clinton Dix, I do think is an upgrade over Jeff Heath. I think he's a more aggressive player, and if our defensive line, this is a big if our defensive line can put some pressure on the quarterback, I think Clinton Dix is a better choice. Now, if they can't, Jeff Heath's more of a safe type player. He does take bad angles, but he doesn't take gambles. He doesn't take risks like Clinton Dix does. So if that line is given time and we can't get to the quarterback, Clinton Dix could be a guy that has some trouble in our backfield. McGovern is going to be all right. He's our future. Yeah, I think so too. Thomas Garrett, hey, okay, I want your opinion direct on this. You're a power lifter. I see you in the gym all the time. I've kind of lost what I had. But how long does it take to put strength on a body? A 21-year-old kid is not going to be near as strong as a 26-year-old man that's been hitting the weight room. that 26-year-old man will throw him around, and that's just part of the game. Unless you came out, like I said, one of those top tier elite guys, we're going to have somebody step in on the offensive line and cover this. Everybody across the board is going to have to play a little better to pick up for it. Let's see, what else we got? Yeah, is an upgrade, no doubt. I think so too. I like Jeff Heath. He made some plays for us at times. You guys know at times he took some bad angles. There was some situations where he made big plays. There were situations where he blew big plays, and that's just part of being a safety. I think all around at the safety position we got better, but our safeties are going to have to be, with our cornerback situation right now, our safeties are going to have to play very, very good, and that's just all there is to it. I do see us most likely going with a corner in the first pick, possibly even the first two picks. I mean, who knows? It just depends on what's on the board, how things fall. You guys know the draft gets crazy every year. The first year I went to the draft was there in 2017, and we had a great time there. But the first pick came out, and when they picked Leighton Vander Esch, I mean, the parking lot cleared. Everybody was pissed off. It's going to take a minute, but if he's disciplined, you better watch out. I hope so, man. I have faith in these guys. I still had some faith in Taco Charlton. I think they let him go a little too early. I don't think he had some opportunities he should have had. I know that some people think that's garbage, but he was younger. He needed some time in the weight room. He needed some strength. He was getting manhandled, and I think he had part of the speed part down. I just think he needed to work on his pass rushes, and he needed to, pick up on the strength. I think he was lacking in strength, and the weight room and eating right is the only thing that's gonna do that for you. Yeah, Jeff Heath, outstanding special teams player. Good note there, 757. I agree. Jeff Heath, it was a guy that always stepped up on special teams. He was not scared to go down and lay some wood on somebody, and that was one thing we did get to see from him time to time, was a special team talent. So yeah, my notes on this Travis Frederick thing is I'm concerned. We were 22nd in rushing. 22nd in rushing in 2018 when he set out. So there was a little bit of there was some drop off in rushing, but it wasn't per carry. We didn't run the ball as much that year. There wasn't near the amount of rushes. We had like 120 less rushes in 2018 than we did, and some of that was because we were down in games and just didn't get a chance to run the ball. Like I said, on offensive line, I don't think there's a need at this time to draft anyone. The offensive line talent is not that deep. There could be a guy dropped to us at 17, but there's other needs right now, and what you've got to do is you just got to hand this over to Looney and Connor McGovern and hope they can handle it. I think Looney did an outstanding job in 2018, but he had some issues with the pass rush, and it kind of showed. Us being, one of the teams that had quite a bit of sacks. What's up, Swaggy D? How you doing, bro? Welcome to the channel again. I did give you a shout out earlier. Thanks for the comment. Connor, as I said earlier, Connor McGovern did not play last year, and he just needs time to develop and hit the playbook, and that's mainly my situation with him. Good chance one of those solid centers fall to third or fourth round as well. Centers are not projected centers are not a high draft position. It's a perfect example of what Stevie Mack's saying there. It's a position that sometimes centers don't have a lot of icing on the cake. You know what I'm saying? If a center drops to the second round and you're still picking, and he was supposed to be a first round or late first round pick, and you're there in the second round, but you see this linebacker, or you see a wide receiver that's dropped, or you see a cornerback that's dropped, or a safety, those guys just have a lot more interest than centers. So teams will tend to let centers or guards drop at times because it's just not a sexy pick, you know. Not saying a center can't be sexy. It's just not as sexy of a pick as a, you know, a wide receiver would be. So there's a chance we could see, you know, at this second pick, depending on how much they're still in love with Connor McGovern, you know, a second round or third round pick with offensive linemen. It's not that deep of a lineman class, but if they fall and that's a need, you know, and we still have time, you know, we still have some time to pick up some of these players prior to the draft. I think the Cowboys are doing a good job. They've been very, I think they've got teams off of coupons, kind of, if you want to put it that way. I think they've got some players at really good prices. I don't think they've overpaid for anyone yet, as the Texans seem to have. I think they overpaid Randall Cobb. I think they gave too much away for to get well, what they got. They were getting rid of Hopkins. It really blew me away. I know everybody's devastated by that. One of the things I actually had to stop what I was doing at work and kind of look over that. I was like, wow, Texas got the wrong end of that deal, and pretty much they had to have been the one that set it up, or they fell into the trap. But with it being Sunday, guys, today, what's weird here is Sunday is my first day at work, so I worked this morning, and then I'm off Thursday afternoon until Sunday morning again. So it's kind of a weird weekend here, but that's the way they do things. I like what we've done in free agency so far, Dan. I especially do like what we've done on the defensive line. I know that those are the keys, and I can't believe the price that they got those guys for. Poe and McCoy, I think they got really, really good price tags on them. It could be like kind of like what Robert Quinn went through. Robert Quinn had a reinsurgent year. We got him last year for a good price, and then he played so well, pretty much we knew. I think DeMarcus Lawrence got him part of his paycheck, because DeMarcus Lawrence drew a lot of attention, you know, and kept Robert Quinn free on the other side. They couldn't double team both of them, but Robert Quinn played outstanding for us last year. We need Snacks. I would love to have Snacks up there. His price tag, who knows what that's going to be. I know his play has dropped off lately, but we've kind of got that guy already, you know, and then we've got Antoine Woods back there. I do like Antoine Woods. He's been solid, but he hasn't been outstanding. He doesn't have a lot of flash play, and he did get beat on the run quite a few times last year. He hurt us really bad in the playoff game against the Rams, and so, you know, there's positions out there we do really need. Right now, I'm concerned about edge. I'm concerned about cornerback. The typical spots that most people are looking at. I am concerned about safety, but I just don't see the Cowboys doing anything there. You know, it's odd. They haven't done anything, and now it seems like they continue to just put tape at the safety position. HaHa Clinton Dix is a good pickup. I don't think he's an outstanding pickup. I think we could still do better there. Jordan Lewis needs to play more. I agree with that one. I was watching some highlights. He always seems to be around the ball. He calls his fumbles. He's a small guy, but he hits the ball. He makes contact with the ball. That's one of the things that has really pissed me off with the Cowboys. We don't try to strip the ball. They need to go to stripper camp. I don't know. We can call it stripper camp if they want to, but they need to go to stripper camp, because they don't try to strip the ball at all. They don't try to make contact with the ball. They go for the legs. They go for the knees. They dive tackle. We have not had anyone other than Jordan Lewis and Jalen Smith seem to be about the only two that really care about trying to get a strip sack, or not a strip sack, but a fumble, a forced fumble. And it doesn't seem like anyone else cares about that. Stephen Kerry Hyder was the only dude consistently trying to strip the ball, but he went to the 49ers. I thought, he could have done a little better for us. I think he could have got more play time. That might have happened. So, but Kerry Hyder was a guy you saw, he went to rip the ball, and we just didn't have players. It seems like that's not something they practice or focus on, which I have no clue why. DeMarcus Lawrence, I'm sorry, is another guy that also, I'm surprised nobody threw that in my, threw that one at me. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's our only guy that really causes fumbles, him and Jordan Lewis. And Jordan Lewis doesn't get enough hits on players, in that position, so that are in that position to lose the ball. The Cardinals beat Philadelphia Eagles to the punch because they wanted Hopkins too. The GM of the Sheagles dropped the ball on that. Well, I'm glad they dropped the ball. Darius Slay, another guy that the Philadelphia Eagles did pick up. I've always liked him. I just think he was on a bad team. I don't know does anybody know the price tag they paid to get Slay over from Detroit? I'm sure it wasn't a big price tag since he was at a kind of like what I call a small town team, a team that kind of flies under the radar, doesn't get a lot of television time and stuff like that. So they probably got a pretty good deal on Slay. I don't know what that is, but these are some of the things I'm behind on. Jordan Lewis needs to start. Top 3 cornerbacks, Duka Henderson and Bryce Hall, in no order. Yeah, I really think that's where we're going to go. I don't see any other choice but to go cornerback. I know I really liked Byron Jones, but I liked his athleticism. He was durable. He had the hamstring issue, was it last year, I think, for a little while, and missed some games. But other than that, really terrifying last year. If you guys recall, we always start the season off with all these damn hamstrings, and other teams do too. But we tend to carry a lot more of these hamstring issues, and I'm hoping the new strength coach that they brought in and conditioning coach can work that out, because that was a big issue last year, starting the season short of people. And luckily we got through those first 3 games 0-3. 3-0. I'm sorry. Luckily we got through those first 3 games 3-0. Crunk, how are you? Family man, stay safe. Hey, thank you. What's up, the man Cuttingham? Yeah, everything is good, bro. We're good. Everything, we really like it here. This is a decent sized island. There's not a lot going on right now, of course, with the coronavirus, but hey, everything's straight. Yeah, we do need some ball hawks for sure. He hopefully gets more playing time. Jordan Lewis, I agree with that. A third, I think. They got a 3rd round pick, 3rd and a 5th rounder. Slay is going to cost them a pretty penny. Yeah, with his contract, he's going to cost. He played well. He just happened to be on a team, that didn't have the pieces around him. Do you blame the lack of turnovers to the coaching staff? Partially, man. I sure as hell do. I like you were saying, Thomas Garrett, we didn't see any ball hawks. It didn't seem like when we went to tackle, we went to rip the ball out. There's certain players around the league. Peanut Tillman was one of the guys that started that. He actually is a good friend of mine that I'm on friends with on Facebook. And they used, when we were in Afghanistan, they used to talk on the phone. He'd be talking to Peanut Tillman, and I'd be, over there next to him, and I just saw that. Hey, no carrots in the chat room. But anyways, yeah, a good friend of mine from San Antonio was real close with Peanut. But those are the kind of guys that are game changers, man. You can get a strip fumble. You guys saw it in the Philly game. When we took over Philly, the first game of the season, I don't remember the second game of the season, we had 2 turnovers like in the first half, and that game, it just seemed like we dominated the game, and it seemed like we dominated because we had those turnovers. We had the ball, we had the possession, we got short into the field, we were banging on the end zone, or right there banging on the end zone the whole first half, and it makes a big difference, man. A couple turnovers. If you can average 2.5 turnovers a game, 3 turnovers a game, you're gonna have some success. And we didn't average anywhere close to that. So, and I mean getting turnovers, not causing turnovers, creating turnovers. What I'm talking about, not giving them away. No, I don't miss the carrot. But C.J. Henderson, CB University of Florida, Cornerback University. Bro, if we could get us another Deion Sanders, bro, one of those hasn't come out of the draft, well, since Deion Sanders. I don't think there's been another one. But yeah, it would be nice, man. Yeah, third and the fifth. Yeah, and Slay is going to cost some money. The coaching staff didn't push for the defensive line to get their depth. Hey guys, this is another thing. Let me know if you guys noticed this last year. Did you guys notice we never tried to conspicuously hide the defense, or hide a rush, or hide a blitz, or sneak in, you know, a corner or safety blitz, or a linebacker blitz? We showed our hand sometimes well before the play clock was even running out. I mean, there'd be 10 seconds on the play clock. Our linebackers are set, our safeties are set, our corners are set. Nobody's moving. We didn't disguise the defense at all. We didn't basic lineup, put it there. If we were blitzing, we would have the guy come up and stand there early. He'd stand there behind, you know, the tackle or the guard, with his head across the damn football, and he would blitz. But they didn't move in, they didn't move out, they didn't switch, they didn't you know, fake a blitz and pull out. They didn't fake, like you'll see teams that get aggressive defenses. They'll put 2 blitzers up there with their linemen, and it looks like 6 guys are coming, and all of a sudden the 2 linebackers pull out and the defensive end pulls out, and only 3 guys rush, and your quarterback's panicking. He thinks 6 guys are coming at him. And we did none of that. And I don't know where that came from. I don't know. At free, what's that? Oh, I missed something. Anyways, is exactly solid, but oh yeah, okay. We're talking about Clinton Dix. Hopefully we don't make him the same mistake by moving him around. Yeah, you guys gotta, and that's another thing. Another thing with the secondary, when we move players in and get players out, defense plays as a unit, just like your offensive line. Your defensive line plays as a unit, but your defensive secondary, that's like an orchestra. That's like a team playing together, a violin and a bass and drums and flutes and harmonicas or whatever the hell. Harmonicas, I don't think they got harmonicas in see how much I know about educated shit. But anyways, it's like an orchestra. You got to play together. So it's going to take Clinton Dix a little while to fit in and figure out who's the captain on that defense and who's in the secondary going to talk and be the leader. And it might be Clinton Dix, because he's the guy in the secondary that has, you know, the veteran. He has the veteran coat on. He's the guy that has that hat on. So we'll see. But our defense has got to be solid. Our secondary's got to work together. They need time to do that, and it's going to be, you know, guys moving around, guys learning, you know, what the guy to the left and to the right of them is going to do, what the guy in front of them is going to do, and be able to work together. But the predictability of our defense and getting set, they got set early in the time in the play clock. There'd be 10, 15 seconds left on the play clock, and our guys are lined up where they're going to be, standing there waiting for the ball to snap. And you'd see quarterbacks sitting there waiting. Okay, are they going to move? Are they going to adjust? Okay, let me go into my snap count. They go into the snap count and nobody moves. They're like, oh, this is what they're giving me? So you're giving the quarterback 5-10 seconds to look over the secondary, see where they're at, and say, okay, I got this guy one-on-one. It looks like, you know, I got a one-on-one over here, but that linebacker's playing a little deep. My best option is over here to the right. Yeah, I mean, and quarterbacks would look at that. They would hold the snap and wait and look to see if the defense never moved. You watch other teams, and they're constantly moving their defenders. Not all the time, but a lot of times they're moving their defenders around just before the snap, or a guy's pulling out, or he's acting like he's not going to blitz. We did none of that, and I didn't like it, man. I didn't like it at all. What's up, Luca Brazzi? Hey, I gave you a shout out earlier. Welcome to the channel, man. I won't be staying on too much longer. I've already gone probably 30 minutes or so, so I just wanted to get some main stuff out. Does anybody have any ideas? I know this is the talk of the town. You're probably tired of hearing about it, but I haven't got a chance to see what anybody has to say on this. Let me know in the chat if anyone out there, and I'm not saying this is what I want, if anyone out there, give me a yes or a no, is interested. If the price stays above 35, if the price stays above 35, you've got to put that in there. if the price goes above 35, is anyone interested in keeping Dak on his 1 year deal and looking at drafting a quarterback and testing a new quarterback? I'm just saying, guys. I'm not throwing that out. I'm only throwing that out as a business proposition. I already got one no. Hey, business-wise, guys, I'm only saying we've looked at the recent seasons. We've looked at the recent seasons, and we've seen the quarterbacks that are winning are young. They're coming in. They're on their younger deals. They're on their rookie contracts, and you have room in the cap to go out and you have room to keep players around these guys. And once these deals are signed, we saw the Rams kind of crumble a little bit. We've seen other teams kind of crumble once these quarterbacks get paid, and it's a huge hit on. Just imagine this and throw it out there. I know that the draft is a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot. I want to stick with Dak too, bro. The leadership, Dan. If I could have three quarterbacks in the league, it would probably be Patrick Mahomes, and I don't know if I'd put some of the other ones in front of Aaron Rodgers, but he's at the end of his contract. If you could get him for 1 or 2 years at a good, but I'm talking about long-term durability, leadership. Dak's at the top of the list, but you're paying 15, 18% of your. You look on the list, guys. Look on the list. Go to Sport Track and look at the list of the salaries. 90% of your players don't even make $1 million. About 43 of your players don't even make $1 million. So if you went with a rookie quarterback right now, if you went back to a rookie quarterback, had Dak, if this rookie quarterback worked out, if you really thought he could be close to what Dak is, close. I'm not saying be what Dak. If he could be 90% of what Dak is, but you're only paying him $4 million a year. You're paying him 20% of what you pay Dak. But he's giving you 80% of the production. So now you've got $30 million to go invest. I'm just talking the business part, guys. I know you could pick a quarterback. You could get Ryan Leaf. You could get Jamarcus Russell. What was the guy's name? If it's a 5 or 6 year deal, then $35 million is fine. Stevie Mack. If you guys, I know you know about this. I did a video a year back, and I said, give Dak a big ass contract. Go ahead and give it to him, but give him an 8-year deal. Put him on an 8-year, like they did for the Eagles. What was my big boy's name? What was the McNabb? Was it McNabb? Jonathan. Goddamn Jonathan McNabb. McNabb. When they did, I told you guys I'm slow right now with the football IQ. When they did Donovan McNabb's contract, they gave him that super long, and at the beginning of that contract, he was getting paid. When they put his contract out, nobody could believe what the guy was getting paid. But when they did Donovan McNabb's contract, by the middle end of that contract, he was getting paid top 10 money in the league, but he was nowhere near the top paid player anymore. So yeah, I would do an 8-year deal, but if Dak's not going to do more than 4 years, I really would look at it. And I'm only saying that I would rather have Dak on this team than any other quarterback. There's only a couple other quarterbacks in the league that I can think of, but somebody's got to reset this market for the quarterbacks, and somebody's got to set the statement that we can't pay quarterbacks 35, 37, 38 million. My Cowboys family in the house, he's probably gonna shoot me for what I'm saying. I'm just talking the business side. I know it's tough to get a quarterback, but if you let Dak sign him, let him finish out this year with his current contract that they have him on, and if we can pick up another quarterback and take a look at him. That's all I'm saying. Look at another quarterback. Just because you're talking $30 million, guys. You're saving $30 million. Even if you draft a guy in the first round, I know it's going to go up. The CBA, it's going to be way up there. And Dak is wanting that CBA money already. I know that he's asking for some of that CBA money. And my Cowboys family, shout out to you because you're one of the ones I've been watching a lot. I haven't had time to watch a lot, but your channel is content. So I thank you very much. I got 18 people in my chat because I haven't been on here in a while. I did a video yesterday. I'm trying to get things rolling again. I've just been so damn busy, man. But I appreciate your support and I appreciate what you've done because you know I got to keep up. Most of the stuff I kept up with was internet and your channel. I didn't watch a lot of the other guys because some of the stuff is content that you know. Anyways, but where we got? Let me read back. Thomas Garrett, stick with Dak, 32 million. Why in the hell would you want to get one of these rookie QBs? Technically, you're starting all over. Yeah, I agree. But hey, what did Dak do his rookie year? He had a lot of players around him. Had a lot of pieces around him. I'm only talking the business side. I'm only talking if you had a quarterback that you were paying $4 million, even if he was a first rounder, $3, $4, $5 million for the first, you know, for the next 4 or 5 years. Actually, it's 5 years because you have the 1 year extension that you can add to the first round players. You've got $30 million to spread around on your defensive line, spread around on your offensive line. So it's something that I can guarantee you the Cowboys have to be looking at. Jerry Jones is a businessman, and when money's getting thrown around, he's gonna look at every dollar going out to all of his players. So to me, it's not what I want to do, but it's an option. And if they go that route, guys, do not be surprised if they try to reset the quarterback market and say, hey, we're not going to pay the quarterback like that and screw everybody else. You know, it just we picked up some good players here in free agency. I like the moves that we've made, but think about the moves we could make if we had another $30 million sitting in the bank. There's some players we could go out and get real quick. We could fill with that money. We could fill 4 or 5 holes. We wouldn't have to worry about cornerback, safety. We could pick up 2 corners, a safety, and an edge rusher for that $30 million. Just saying. And you got trade value in the current quarterback we have. So he would have to agree to the trade. I know all those things, but I know it's junk. I'm talking junk, but like I said, I've been out a little bit. Also, signing Dak to 4 or 5 years should open up around $5 to $10 million for this year's salary cap. Yeah, I thought the number was closer to about $3 million, depending on some of the situation here. But I know he's supposed to make like 33, and I thought that that was going to put his salary cap down to like 28. So about 4 million or 5 million, something like that. Yeah, I think that's what I was reading earlier. But then again, my Cowboys family, you've been digging into this a lot longer than I have. I'm kind of getting back on the horse this week. I've been back actually just a couple days, kind of looking things over. Draft Jake Foreman in 2nd round. He'll become great. I have no problem drafting a quarterback, keeping Dak on the franchise tag, and just taking a look. I'm just saying, taking a look, guys. Even if you take a look, and the quarterback you think doesn't work out, if you think he may or may not work out, you have trade value in that young quarterback still. Now, he's not going to get you 2nd round quarterback after he set the bench behind Dak Prescott but you're going to know more about that quarterback than anybody else. So when you do go to trade him, he's going to have more value, to another team. You know, if you know, hey, this Jake Foreman hadn't worked out, and you decide you want to go trade him, you know, you still have value in that player. So I like Dak a lot, but just randomly saying, if it didn't work out, keep your eyes on Jamie Newman, who will be in the draft next year. Really similar player to Dak. Also, last 10 years, it went up 10 million average. Next year, yeah, every year it's gone up 10 million. So we're looking, in the next 3 or 4 years, Dak's salary is paid for, but then he's looking for a new contract again. Dak can make 30 mil, 37 mil, and 30 or 37 mil will still be fine with the cap, and also have the best chance to win a Super Bowl in the next 4 to 5 years. I'm there with you on the 30 to 37 million, but I really think he's reaching for the 37 million, and it's going to hurt us the next year or two. And if we've just seen the young quarterbacks carry teams, and they've done it because they had good numbers around them, they had good players around them, and they've drafted well. The San Francisco 49ers, that's how they got through. Through to where they are. The San Francisco 49ers, they laid it down in the draft. And we did too in 2016. The draft can be your playmaker. And that's where we need to make our focus right now, the draft, and concentrating on Dak. If the price is too high, let him roll with the franchise tag and we see what we got. I really don't want to do that because I know the price is going to go up next year. But if the price goes up next year, I guess it's not a big deal because he's not going to go bring his price tag up 10 million a year. He's going to bring it up 2 or 3 million. And since we're going to get 10 million every year, I guess we can just keep holding him off. I don't know. That's always everybody's argument. To me, is it goes up 10 million a year. It goes up 10 million a year. Yeah, but you're still giving 18% of your salary cap to one player, and you've got 40 players on your roster that don't make $1 million. So if you can take that 30 million and you can spread it around, and that's what these teams that are making it to the Super Bowl have been doing. I mean, we've had the big time quarterbacks go deep in the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes still in his rookie deal. When Carson Wentz, when they went, I know he was injured, but those guys, they're on their rookie deals. And we see the rookie deal quarterbacks having good teams, having good players around them, having a good offensive line, having a good defensive line. The quarterback doesn't have to do everything. So Dan the man, if they could hold that down for 8 or 10 years, bro, that's what I said before. I put out a video like that a while back. Give Dak an 8-10 year deal. Pay him $40 million right now. Give him a $400 million contract. 400 million. Excuse me. Give him a 10-year deal for $40 million and $38 million. I'm sure he's cool with that, but he's not going to do a 10-year deal. Give it, a good part of it. I believe in him because he is dependable. He's on the field. He doesn't sit out. He's missed some practices, but he's been there for the Cowboys. He plays 16 games a season. So I don't have issues with the injury bug. If you want to give him more guaranteed, give him more guaranteed. If you can lower that annual salary and get the cap, the dead money down on the cap and those things, I would do it that way. When Mahomes and Watson sign their deals, maybe this offseason, Dak's contract will ride. Yeah, I know it's going to go up more, but we get more money. We get more money next year. I mean, that's what I'm saying. On the business side, you're going to pay Dak. Sooner or later, you're going to pay him. But what's wrong? What's wrong with looking at a young quarterback? If he can come in like Dak did, and we can get a quarterback, I know it's hard to do. We got lucky when we got Dak. But if you can get a quarterback and pay him $4 or $5 million, I mean, and the gadgets and the toys and the strength up front and the strength on the defensive line you can put around him with that extra money, you've got to look at it. Business-wise, you've got to look at younger quarterbacks these days. Teams are going to start doing it. I'm telling you, the quarterback salary is going up so damn much. It's going up way more than the other players, and there's a reason. But it's going to hit a cap, and teams are going to start going away from looking at these quarterbacks because they're too expensive, and it's going to start pissing the locker room off. And I don't know if that was part of what was going on last year. I know some people, when people in the locker room are getting paid and other guys aren't, when you get a quarterback that gets paid, there's going to be some people that you're taking food off their plate. There's only so much food on the table. There's a salary cap. There's a dining room table. Just a dining room table right there. There's a dining room table. There's so much food on it. There's only so many seats at that table. So for all the seats at the table, everybody gets a certain portion. But if one person comes in and takes 20% of the food off the table, some people don't appreciate that too well. You know what I'm saying? The pie is a lie. let me go back and read you. I keep telling everybody this. Jerry Jones is jiving around. Oh, jiving around. I know he will guarantee, and then maybe be able to. But hey, the longer the deal, the better. I know that's the situation. If Dak wants a short deal, his agent's being smart and all those things. But hey, sooner or later, somebody's got to do something with these quarterback salaries. The quarterback salaries, to me, are getting ridiculous, and you just can't put the pieces around them. I know the salary cap goes up every year, but then you can't turn around and say, if the salary cap goes up every year, we should just go ahead and pay Dak, and then turn around and say, but those guys are getting their deal next year, he's going to ask for more. Well, if the salary cap goes up, the salary cap goes up. Sooner or later, the quarterbacks are going to have to start leveling off, and because you look at the percentages at the quarterback salaries going up. It's much more than any other player. We all know Dak is just a placeholder at quarterback until Jerry's grandson. Hey, hey now, bro. I've seen his grandson, and his grandson needs some work. Maybe an undrafted free agent. He might be our next Tony Romo, the undrafted free agent quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Since 2013, Dak ranks third fifth best quarterback drafted QB. Yeah, I know. I understand. No, I agree with you, man. I'm not saying that I don't agree with you. But if you could get a top 10 quarterback, just say top 10. Let's say Dak's in the top 5. Let's say you could get a top 15 quarterback. A top 15, but you're paying him $4 million a year. That gives you $33 million a year every year. Next year it gives you $43 million. The next year it gives you $53 million. The next year it gives you $63 million on the cap, because you're paying a quarterback $4 million and he's your starter. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying they're gonna start looking at it. The players actually look at Jerry sideways when he doesn't sign. I understand. It's your franchise quarterback, and I'm just talking about. I'm not begging for this. I'm just throwing you guys the numbers out there, because there's a reason this shit hadn't got done already. If he's asking, if they've already offered in the realms of 35 and he didn't take it, and they're asking for more than that, and the Cowboys haven't stepped it up, I do think it's going to happen. Do I think it's going to get signed? Yeah, I do. I'm on the business side, on the numbers aspect of things. I'm going to tell you this. That's what I do at work. I do numbers. And when you have contracts and salaries and oil companies, and there's $1.5 billion sitting on the table in front of you in contracts, and you got to divvy them up and section them out, and you don't put all your eggs in one basket. And when you do, you lose people. You lose part of a team concept. That's what I think. I hope they're looking at it. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope Dak gets signed, but I hope he gets signed at a reasonable price. I don't think that's going to happen. So that's my spill on it. The business side shows us that we will have a lot of money open after Dak this year and the following. My Cowboys family, hey, start your live show after this. No, look, I agree we're going to have money. But if Dak was making $7 million a year, just saying, I know he's not going to make $7 million. Let's say he took 25. That's not going to happen either. What I'm saying is, if you have a lower end, I know if you have a lower end quarterback, you could have, think of the defensive lineman you could have if you didn't have a $30 million quarterback. Think of the offensive lineman we've got some of those already. The upgrades, the safety. Right now we could go get 2 corners, the top safety, and a complete edge rusher right now. If they're on the market, you could go get them. I know a lot of times they're not. I'm just saying that's what we had when we had Dak. That's why we were able to bring these guys in. That's why we're gonna lose. We're about to lose some players, but I know the market's gonna come up. Oh, doesn't matter, bro. Last year we didn't even spend all our cap money. Oh yeah, true. And we'll see. And I'm not, bro. I love I'm just looking at the business side of it. That's my only issue with the Dak thing. I wish he would step down, take a reasonable deal, and you know, would have. Hey, peace out, bro. I'm about to shut it down too. I just wanted to get that last piece on Dak out. I don't know what they're gonna do, but guys, I'm just saying, Jerry Jones has always been a unique guy. He's always done things a little different, and do not be surprised. I mean, be surprised, because I doubt this is gonna happen. But if they're looking at a quarterback in the first round, and they're possibly looking at or getting a veteran quarterback in here and signing them with Dak and letting Dak ride out on the franchise tag, or seeing what they can do with Dak, do not be 100% surprised if they look at doing something. I hope they don't. I hope it works out. I hope they get Dak on the right deal. But these quarterbacks are taking too much of the pie. So that's where I stand on it. I hope Dak gets the deal. I almost wore my Prescott jersey down here. I just wish things were going different for the NFL, and that has to change. To me, that has to change. These quarterbacks have got to cut back on what they're asking for. So hey guys, let's get Dak signed. Let's roll with it. I hope it works out. I hope it works out for the best. I hope we do have the money sitting there. I know that the salary cap's going to increase, but yeah, and the way the contract is structured, yeah, of course, the way they structure it, it's only going to be about 26 mil this year, or 25 mil if they even do it right, and his contract is at that right point. But again, if you've got a rookie like we had in Dak, what kind of salary cap do you have left if you're able to let Dak go, or get some kind of trade value back for Dak, or release him and get a draft pick off of that, and have that money for 4 years? It's just a big. It's like having a car lot, and you've got one car on the car lot that's worth you know, 2 times the rest, 10 times the rest of the cars. You know, you don't have a car lot like that. But I don't know. You could put it into different aspects, but that's the quarterback. That's what quarterback's values are. So, hey guys, I'm gonna read my Cowboys family's last thing, guys. The cap goes up 40 mil every year for the next 10 years. Face it, fam. Salaries of players. Hey, I hope they do go up. But my Cowboys family, what I'm trying to say is, I hope all the salaries go up, not just these damn quarterbacks. Quarterbacks are the only ones getting it. Sooner or later, the quarterback market is gonna hit a ceiling, and they're gonna realize, hey, we've got to start paying these other players to keep them around. But hey guys, my Cowboys family, appreciate it. Stevie Mack in the house, Target, everybody that was in here. Jonathan Lindsay, appreciate you for hanging out the whole chat. You guys take care. I'm gonna step out now. Cowboy Crunk from Manama, Bahrain, your military headquarters. Peace.